everybody, and welcome back. We still have not named this podcast, so I don't know. We'll figure it out eventually. Welcome back. Today we are going to talk about some Throne of Eldraine spoilers. Everybody's excited about some of these new cards, and not so excited about other of these cards. So we're gonna find out what we have to say about that. You guys ready?
Yes.
I'm about to be in it to win it.
Absolutely.
I just want to talk about how this set is just so different from other sets in the past, because I don't think they've ever focused so much on just overall flavor.
Oh, hell yeah.
I was looking at spoilers the last 2 or 3 weeks, and it's like, even if the cards are just straight ass terrible, they tell a story, and it means something. Like, you know what that card is for sure.
They feel really good.
So good.
It feels like OG Innistrad.
I just want to throw out some real quick shit. Fucking love Golden Egg. That's adorable. I love the Sorcerer's Broom, the Artifact Spirit, the Crystal Slipper that gives haste. Fuck yeah.
Yo, I'm a big fan of Once Upon a Time and Happily Ever After.
Hell yeah,
That's
dog.
my pick.
I love Giant Opportunity, where you trade in food tokens for a giant. That's pretty cool.
Like the Beanstalk card
Yeah,
that
the
just
Beanstalk.
turns your food into more food or something.
7 dwarves, you get 7
dwarves, awesome.
Please and thank you.
Come on, I want 7 2/2s in my deck.
Also, I do want to do a quick shout out to Oathsworn Knight, which is the Black Knight that as
the
it
Monty Python reference.
Yeah, as it takes damage, it loses limbs. All right. And just one more quick shout out to Clackbridge Troll, which I fucking love so much.
That card is so good.
Yeah, it comes in, makes your opponent 3 goats that it then eats if they don't want to take 8 damage with trample every turn.
Gain 2 or 3 life and draw a card?
Yeah, it's their food. So it's 3 life and draw a
Jesus.
card. Yeah, it's hot. It's hot.
Absolutely.
All right, let's
That
get
card
into
is
these.
so
Let's get into the meat of it. So, Mason, you had one that you were particularly excited about.
Yeah, so I am
about.
super stoked right now on the Fervent Champion, which I think everybody in the universe is cool with this card. It's the new World Championship card that's come out, which are legendarily very strong cards.
Is that the one? I've been wondering which one was the Javier Dominguez.
Javier
card.
Dominguez, that's Fervent Champion.
With the Fervent,
What?
What did he win with?
I have no idea. I don't pay attention to
I think it
competitive
was
play.
that mono red thing.
He won when his World Championship one was like the weird mixed format where they try to make it like Hearthstone, where you could play like 4 different decks, but as soon as you won with a deck, that deck couldn't be used anymore.
All right, never mind.
It was a
stupid world championship. No one cares
mess.
about how they won.
The point is,
It's an amazing card.
His face is on a Magic card, and it's a good Magic card.
Oh my gosh, it's so whenever they let these world champions get to make creature cards, I don't
think they let him make it this time around. I think
Really?
they changed how they're doing it.
He had input in it, but he didn't get overall say in the card.
Yeah, he didn't get to say this is the card I want.
It's a 1-drop 1/1 with first strike and haste.
In red.
Yeah.
So it's
in
one
red.
mana.
Yeah.
Then it has more text on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has some other stuff in
What
it.
is the other text?
The other text is that whenever it attacks another target attacking knight you control, get +1/+0 until end of turn. So, if you're in that mono knights list, it seems pretty good. And then it has that other bit of text, which is what has me fucking going crazy.
Yeah, this part's nuts.
Is the equip abilities you activate that target Fervent Champion cost 3 colorless less to cast. 3 generic
I'm sorry,
mana.
how many?
3 less. Yeah.
Jesus.
You know
So-
what costs 3 to cast? 3 to activate?
3 to equip. You know what costs?
All 7 swords.
All the swords. Jete, you can turn 1 this guy into turn 2 Jete and get counters on at the same turn. That's pretty good.
Or you could also play some weird, dumb combo deck with Sunforger.
Oh, yeah. Sunforger.
Currently, so we got Stoneforge unbanned, so you can go find whatever you want, put it in your hand. And yeah, you can free equip freaking Sunforger. Go get Manamorphoses for some dumb combo with a Phoenix deck. I don't know. It seems like the right amount of trash for me to try to
Are you
ruin
telling me
mine.
I can equip my Manriki Gasari for free?
I think you can.
Does
My
Ember
Neklate?
Cleave? Does Embercleave come into this deck at all?
Embercleave? I think maybe
Embercleave
for
Yeah, I mean that's just gonna go into like any night that any creature like we talked about this one a little bit. We're going just like in straight up creature based burn stacks.
Just
But
Embercleave being.
It's just straight up a free extra damage on a burn spell. You don't care about its equip cost because it's relatively cheap, and it just comes into play for 2 red, basically.
Yeah, and you attach it when you equip. Well, you equip it when you cast it.
Yeah.
So
It's a lot.
I think it is definitely
on a
part
Swift
of.
Spear, you also get prowess on that. It's silly.
There's definitely. I don't think Red
I
Deck
didn't think
Wins
about that,
ever
that's
goes out of style in Standard, but it's definitely going to be pretty strong. I think in this
100%.
Eldraine.
yeah,
For sure.
I want to do a real quick deviation because we're talking about Red Deck Wins.
Oh yeah.
I got some weird thoughts about some of the mythics in this set, and one of them that I'm not sure which side of the spectrum it falls on is Robber of the Rich.
Oh.
That's the Robin Hood one, the 2-drop 2/2 with haste and reach. I guess.
Down, man. He's hanging.
Yeah, I
It's 'cause
guess.
Rich people, they have balconies.
Sure. All right.
Robin Hood is an archer.
That's what it is. And then he's got this whole mess of text that basically allots to when he attacks, you get the exile a card from the top of library, but it's your opponent's library, and you can cast that card any turn that you've attacked with a rogue.
So there's other
card's
text
a
that's
mess.
important because we're talking again about how flavorful this set is and how it doesn't matter if the cards are bad.
Mm-hmm.
He only takes those cards if your opponent has more cards in hand than you,
Yep.
because he steals from the rich.
Yep. That's true.
Yo, that
Okay,
tastes
okay.
so good.
So fucking good.
Yeah.
Solid.
It's just
Yummy,
such a
yummy
you
in my
gotta
tummy.
you gotta jump through a bunch of hoops to make it happen, and the effect is decent.
This is for the Vorthos.
It
that's
is.
all, eh?
Yeah, it is. It is a flavor boy.
Oh,
Uh,
flavor blasted.
He is on the fence on whether he is better than Dire Fleet Daredevil.
I love that card. That card's great.
So it becomes it's either this card is much better than Dire Fleet Daredevil,
Mhm.
or it's extremely worse.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Not
I think
sure where that's going to be right
it
now.
really depends on if there are actually other rogues that you would play in in a deck with this guy.
Oh, let's talk about some other rogues in this set.
Oh yes.
Yes,
So,
please.
One of my favorite rogues in this set is Rankle, Master of Pranks.
Another
A
hasty
fairy
creature.
rogue. Because haste is the theme of Eldraine, in case nobody's paid attention.
Oh yeah, there's haste everywhere in this set. It's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah,
Evergreen.
so let's talk about him. He is 2 black for a 3/3 flying haste, and then it says whenever Rankle Master of Prank deals combat damage to a player, choose any number. That part's still in the air. Nobody's actually sure what they mean by that, but I assume it's choose any number of the 3 abilities and
Yeah.
activate them.
I think
I
so.
choose 4.
I think you can choose all 3 of
I
them.
assume that's what it is.
I choose 10.
But
as the number.
the 3 abilities are each player discards a card, each player loses 1 life and draws a card, each player sacrifices a creature. I'm really hype on this card. I think it gives something to the green-black decks that was sorely missing, which is flying threats. A lot of times, if a creature gets in the air against those matchups, it's really hard to interact with them because the removal spells typically won't hit them. You need a revolted Fatal Push, and Fatal Push is one of the worst removal spells in green-black X decks, and getting Revolt is typically really hard. Renin 6 helps with that because now you have your unlimited access to fetches, but you usually only have 2 or 3 Fatal Pushes, if that.
Well, John, would that go in some kind of weird black-white lingering souls where you're discarding for value on
That
your
would be
end?
ideally the best place to put that in Modern.
Okay.
Is like an Absent shell where you're getting your extra tokens, or a
Rid of
Mardu
blossoms.
shell where you're getting your young Pyromancer tokens and things.
Ooh,
to
actually, okay, cool. That's the real,
Yeah.
actual. I want to
Yeah,
go
Mardu
flavor,
Pyro.
and you're like, oh, wait, no, that's the right thing to do.
But this card and Liliana are gonna be crazy good friends because you don't care if your opponent's gonna draw an extra card. You're just gonna make them discard it.
Yeah, who cares?
So that's
right?
going to be hot. In Standard, it's TBD what this card's going to do. Again, it's going to be like Robber of the Rich, where it's either going to be abusive and you're going to see a lot of it, or you're not going to see any of it because there are just better things to do, like other 4-drop Mythic Rares that we'll talk about.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about that other 4-drop Mythic Rare.
Yeah,
we want to go straight to that.
Yeah,
let's
what you
jump
got?
into it.
All right, so the other 4-drop Mythic Rare that we care about in this set is Questing Beast. He is 2 green.
Mhm.
For a legendary creature beast, Vigilance, Death Touch, Haste, because again, everything has haste in this set. Questing Beasts cannot be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. Combat damage that would be dealt by creatures you control cannot be prevented. Whenever Questing Beast deals combat damage to an opponent, it deals that much damage to a target planeswalker that player controls, and it is a 4/4.
So what I'm hearing is that I get to play this as my general for my Fog Tribal deck.
Yeah,
Do
because you get to block all of their creatures, and then
he
your
still does.
creatures will still kill their creatures, but not the other way around.
Hell yeah,
This
that's what I
card's a
want.
love letter to big dumb creatures. It's like my
But
favorite.
in Standard,
It's like a book.
Standard's been in the place where a lot of times you're tapping out for your turn 3 Teferi. If you tap out for a turn 3 Teferi against a Questing Beast,
Mhm.
you're going to get hit in the face for 4 damage and lose your Teferi. And get
That
time
feels bad.
blocked real hard.
It's good. It's an
Uh,
answer for that kind of control.
Yeah,
Okay.
I assume the reason a lot of these things have haste in this set is to deal with the War of the Spark Planeswalkers and just how many of them are there.
That makes sense.
Because
Keep them all in control.
haste checks those things, as we saw, where like everybody thought Jace the Mind Sculptor was a bad card because Bloodbraid Elf existed.
Mhm.
Because you cast a Bloodbraid, Cascade, attack the Jace, it's dead.
Yeah.
They didn't do anything. You brainstormed once, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to happen with all of these creatures, where if you ever take a turn to tap out to play a walker, you're going to lose your walker. Almost assuredly.
Can I go into a little story time with this Questing Beast that I had while I woke up one day, look at my spoilers, said, ooh, this card looks like a sweet 4/4 for 4. Let me go and pre-order that. And I saw it pre-ordering at $7. I tabbed out for a second, tabbed back in. It had sold out at our local game store. And I proceeded to watch it climb in price to, where's it sitting at now? $25?
It is $23.
$23 in
Damn.
pre-sale. I was like,
Exclusively at cardkingdom.com.
oh, they got them prices. But it was one of those, when you're doing MTG Finance, you're like, oh, I think this is a good card. $7, that's a little bit, but, and then
it seems
boom.
like
Now it's
other people agreed with you.
$23. Okay, well, missed the boat on that one. Oh well.
Yeah, when I saw that card had three keyword abilities and was at Mythic Rare, I didn't see anything past that.
Yeah.
I scrolled a little bit and saw the 3 keywords Mythic Rare, and I was like, okay, so this card's gonna be like $30.
Mm-hmm.
And then saw the rest of it. I was like, yeah, this card's gonna be actually one of the best creatures in Standard for a while.
Preshees. But this kind of goes back to, Miller, that point you were making about some of Mythics, right?
Yeah, the mythics are like.
They're so high and low.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, and this one's especially weird to me. Like, I realized that the reason why this card has all of this text on it is to deal with like War of the Spark Planeswalkers. I hadn't made that connection until you mentioned it, so now I feel like level up moment.
Yeah.
But like,
I'm a gamer.
but genuinely, like the card, you look at the card and it's keyword soup with 3 more abilities tacked onto it, and all of them are good. Like all of them do good things for you. So it's
I mean,
it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You have like Rankle, who like also has multiple keywords and extra abilities. You have like, then you've got cards like, and I know this card is gonna be good. I'm not gonna say it's not gonna be good. I just think it's silly that it's mythic. Brazen Borrower, the like bounce a thing and then later cast a 3/1 that can't even block non-flying creatures, and it's a mythic. Like, I get that it's a 2-for-1. I get that it's great in a tempo deck. I understand that. Why is this card mythic rare?
why
Like,
is it Mythic Rare?
Yeah.
And why is it pre-selling for $25?
also,
I think that's just because it's the newest spoiler. I'm pretty sure that'll go down.
You think
Yeah.
so? Okay. People are real excited about Flash Flyer.
yeah.
People
Yeah,
are saying
like,
some like
it's statted like Vendilion Click, right? It's like, I'm pretty sure you don't want to lose out on those type of things where like Vendilion Click ended up being really good in other formats for a while. Like, you may still see a Vendilion Click in Modern or Legacy.
Mhm.
Yeah,
here and there.
you definitely have 1 or 2 floating around. It's a decent
Mhm.
clock.
I do think this card is a good Magic card. I'm annoyed by the fact that this card is themed around theft, and instead of taking a thing from your opponent, it just gives them back their thing.
Yeah. It's like, oh, hey.
I think the
Here's your
mode
stuff.
you're going to care about is not giving them back their thing, it's protecting your things.
That makes sense. Except, here's the thing, though. It does say return a non-land permanent when opponent controls to its owner's hand.
Oh, hot
So
damn.
if they
this
steal
card's-
a thing,
this
then
card's
you can
crazy
bounce it
fucking
back.
garbage. I
Are
think
there
that-
are there any kind of
I thought that
weird?
was all you cared about was actually like protecting your walkers from dying. or
Is there
something
like is there a weird setup where like people can like steal your stuff?
That 4-mana spell in Modern Horizons that changes control. No, that's in command. That's in the commander set.
Right,
It changes
right.
control of a creature and a spell.
or
Um,
something where you're
replacing
giving
him?
stuff to
Well, there's
opponents and
in,
then
Well,
in
yeah,
standard there's the
there's Oko.
red double blue that changes control of 2 permanents. I think is what it is,
yes.
or blue double red. I don't remember. It's got the goblin with the sphinx face.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I can't think of the name of it, but
Oh, the card's so my favorite.
Roll reversal. That's the card. Double blue and red. Is that an
I
instant?
do remember
That's a
that.
sorcery that changes control of things.
Some of the best flavor texts I've ever read.
Oh, hit us with it,
is
please.
that from Guilds?
Uthlon the Wise scandalized Phoenix society, hooting the answers to riddles as he rampaged through the Tin Street. Gangrel, on the other hand, sat for hours deep in thought, largely ignored by fellow goblins. And depicted on the art is a goblin sitting there like a sphinx and a sphinx kind of running around a bit like a goblin, really messing up a motherfucker. Yeah, that's from
You got a
War.
big-
That's War of the
You got
Spark.
a
So it's
big
in standard.
fucking mace.
So
It's in
that'll be a
standard
thing.
for some kind of weird.
Play that with Brazen Borrower.
There
Do
you
it.
go.
Do it.
Top tip.
Do it.
Buy your roll reversals now.
Yeah.
Get the foils.
But yes,
there's
Oko
there's a
also.
potential that like in testing they probably thought that this card was really good with Oko and probably needed to make that a thing because Oko exchanges control
Yeah.
permanents.
So you like swap a thing out with Oko and then
Just
bounce
get
the
it
thing
back.
back to your hand, and hopefully
Probably a
that thing.
tempo play, but like
Yeah.
it just doesn't sound that good to me.
It seems like a lot of work.
I mean, like, what if that?
It
Hold
stops
on, though.
it stops walkers from ulting.
What if that other thing is another Brazen Borrower, and then you get to recast the petty theft half of it, bounce another one of their things, and you've got 2 flyers that you can cast from exile. Jose, what cards are you most excited about in this set?
What's jizz in your
Stone Coil Serpent.
Oh yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because it's a X mana XX that taps very nicely into a Mishra's Workshop.
That's right.
Very
That's right.
nicely.
You're in the vintage train now. I forgot about this.
Yeah, I
change.
mean it's got pro multicolored, which I mean it doesn't really. There's not that many things that are multicolored. I mean, I guess
Why don't,
That's
I
gonna
guess
make it good for
Hogak.
standard.
I guess
why don't you
Hogak
read this
is
boy out for
multicolored.
us because I know this is another one that's just like keyword central.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
Stone,
give us the whole
Stone
thing.
Coil Serpent is an X mana cost spell with Reach, Trample, protection from multicolored. It enters the battlefield with X/1/1 counters on it. The important thing is that it says artifact creature on it.
Well, that's the important thing for the Mishra's Workshop.
Yeah,
situation,
because you can't workshop.
Yeah.
I mean, you can
Yeah.
City of Traders it or like
So you could workshop this as a 3/3 on 1.
yeah, or you could play a workshop and then like a Lotus. What?
Yeah. No. Absolutely. You get it out what as a 6/6?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think a 6-man like using a Lotus for this is probably kind of a meme, but like
A little bit, but
Yeah.
I
That's
like
a-
it.
that's
It's
a
kind
meme.
of meme I want to be.
Yeah,
I
that's,
mean,
that's my meme.
you could play a Stone Coil Serpent, crack a Lotus into like a Trinisphere or something, and your opponent's like, well,
Yeah, that
and
sounds
then you
like
just kill them to death. Like what are they gonna do about that?
my favorite way to kill people is to death.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Or you could play a Stone Coil Serpent for I don't know like 1, and then play a Sphere of Resistance off your factory because that's kind of funny, or your workshop because that's kind of hilarious. But
Yeah, I think this card's pretty good in like a legacy list too, maybe just as like if you pay just 3 mana into it, it's got enough of those keywords in there that I think it's strong enough as a kind of mid-range beater.
I mean,
Then
it's
you've
got Pro Gak, right?
It's it's got Pro Gak, and yeah, also in modern it's Pro Assassin's Trophy.
Pro Teferi.
Like yeah, you can't get to
both
Fairy.
Teferis.
Ooh.
I'm not sure how this card goes in Modern because if you're playing it in Tron.
Yeah, so it's just all it would
so
be
like-
is it'd be a switch out like
Take a sideboard.
you'd sideboard into it and take out some other threat because you felt
so
like that was strong.
What do you sideboard? Like, what are you bringing this in again? Like, what do you like? If you ever slam a Great Creator and tick down, why are you getting this card? Is my wonder.
Well, why are you playing Great Creator in Tron, my friend?
because that card's absurd.
You're super wrong, my guy.
You're super wrong.
You're trash.
That card is.
So tell me,
Big.
what makes Karn Great Creator good and what makes it bad in Tron?
I'm just kidding. It's great.
Yeah,
no, I want to hear it. No, I want. No, you can't throw down like
Oh,
this.
dang, okay.
Alright,
You
so-
gotta fucking defend your position. I want to hear this shit.
A lot of people that think Karn is bad in the Tron decks in Modern are really locked into the idea that you're just doing the lattice thing.
Mm-hmm.
When that is
Yeah.
that is like the last thing you should be doing. You're only going to grab lattice if you know you're going to slam the lattice. So your Karn's already untapped.
Mhm.
So it's probably going to work, right?
Okay. So it's like you grab Lattice if you have the 7 up to
If
cast
you're gonna win.
immediately.
Yeah, if you're going to do it.
It's your big finish.
If you know that there's no interaction coming, just grab the lattice.
You're
actually end the
not
game.
racing for it, right?
No.
You're not
I
racing.
mean, with
for
the new
Microsoft.
It
force,
just
Uh,
locks
it's
games
not just
out
like-
once you.
Yeah,
You can't just slam
a
it
lot
down.
of times the first thing you're grabbing with Karn is a hate piece. Yeah, you're getting you're getting Trinisphere, you're getting Ensnaring Bridge. You're gonna get a not a hanger back blocker, a walking ballista for next turn to do some cleanup. You're gonna get a Wormcoil Engine if you need to get some life.
You know what? I just realized that this card seems really good because you just it just says down tick, get the answer for the board state at the current
That
moment.
is exactly
Yes,
what it
that
says.
is. Karn, the Great Creator, is down tick.
It will always demand an answer because
Find your
again,
answer.
the threat of lattice is a thing.
Yeah.
And even if they're not planning to lattice you, getting liquid metal coding and getting stone rate every turn, Jesus Christ.
Is so
It's
brutal.
so
It's so
absurd.
gross. Yeah, no. I think my position was more defendable when the GAC was in Modern because GAC was just, it was so much faster and it was just completely, even if you could go get your perfect hate piece, it just didn't seem to matter.
Did something happen to Hogak? Did I?
Yeah, GAC got banned up.
Oh fuck!
Yeah, the GAC is whack.
GAC
you know
is
what I'm saying?
gone. So is
GAC
the
is whack?
Faithless Looting. So
Yeah. Speaking,
R.I.P. Phoenix.
can I say, speaking of Faithless Looting, they knew that they were going to ban Faithless Looting,
Yeah, they
right?
pranked
Oh, you're
it.
totally
They
right.
knew
because
that.
pranked us so
They
hard.
put stuff in the set to be like, look guys, we banned Faithless Looting, but we have something else for you.
Yo, here's Faithless Looting.
Faithless
my
Looting.
little,
Yeah.
my Faithless Looting's little brother.
We got instant speed looting for one card, Merchant of the Veil, which I don't remember who was talking to me about this, but saying that the nice thing about this is you get to discard before you draw, which means that on one you could discard, pay into it, discard a thing that you want in your yard, and then draw, or I don't know
Are
exactly.
you talking
what
about with
you're-
Dredge?
I mean,
You
maybe
you
Dredge.
discard a
Yeah.
Dredger and then
That seems pretty
Yeah.
alright for Dredge. I mean, this
some
is
weird a chainer setup.
Yeah.
Yeah, this card is just Tormenting Voice.
But better.
Wild Guess. It's the
It
exact
is.
same thing, but it's instant speed,
Yeah.
which makes all the difference.
Oh well, there's also the we were just barely talking about this, the tormenting voice instant speed that they just put out. I don't
I'm
know what it's
sorry, you
called.
were talking about the 1 mana guy. It's like Insolent Neon.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
The
it's
adventure one.
Merchant of the Veil is what I was talking about. Whose
I had forgotten
one
about
cost
that
ability
one.
is Haggle.
Yeah,
is
we
discard
talked
draw.
about that where the it's just another Insolent Neonate where you're discarding first and then you're drawing one. So it's another 1-drop that lets you enable your dreads immediately.
Except you get
so
a
like
Pyromancer
your dredge can start
token
playing
off
again.
of it.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
And it also has a body too.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
in the late game, and you're just like, I've got 6 mana hanging out, so I'll just play this dude and then loot.
It's some dope art. This guy's like, look at my wares.
Yeah, I also want to talk about the fact that all of the adventure cards with the alternate art are fucking gorgeous.
Yo,
They're
I keep
so
seeing
cool.
them
so
on
good.
spoilers, and I'm like,
Murderous Rider
Oh
is
my god,
actual one of the best things.
That
in
card's
art
great.
I've seen on
That
so
card's
long.
great. Order of Midnight also is great. The female knight riding the giant crow, it's Seb McKinnon, so you can't go wrong. But it's
Seth
fucking-
McKinnon has been literally slaying
Yeah,
the
he's
art
been
game for Magic sets in the past year.
he's been killing it.
They're all so good.
We're getting great shit.
God.
I want to talk
Yeah,
about
no,
this.
I'm just looking at these now.
Yeah.
I'm psyched for Murderous Rider because it's the return of Hero's Downfall. And by the way, we're going back into Theros soon,
Yeah.
but I think that there is a lot of stuff in this set that is reminding me of Theros in terms of the fact that
They are setting up for devotion.
yeah, they're setting up for devotion, but also if you look at the ways that Theros played, especially in limited, control sucks. Control is trash. You don't play Control in Theros Limited. It doesn't work out for you because it's just not good removal. And like the best removal we've got for this set is Murderous Rider, right? I might be missing some other things, but like it's got a couple of like conditional exile a small thing, exile a big thing.
They have a typical thing for limited formats where there is a 5-mana instant speed removal spell that is like somewhat conditional, but like you're gonna play it every time.
Yeah, you'll 8th or 9th pick it because you need removal, and you know that's how you play limited. But like generally, it's these games are gonna be grindy and built around like battle cruiser magic, like you playing these one or two things that are just like beat sticks that are gonna smash your opponent's face in.
I had made that decision like earlier in this week that I was pretty sure that I'm just gonna start drafting this format at least at the beginning. If it's awesome, I'm just gonna get in there.
Just keep doing it.
Yeah.
Honestly, it looks like a blast of a format to draft. So I'm really looking forward to it myself. It's a little sad that we won't see. I forget how I don't know how all of the complicated bullshit with the special promotional packs works. The like solid gold $20 booster packs.
So bad. The promo packs in this wave look awful. One of the slots is dedicated to an arena code.
Yeah.
That's limited 5 per account.
Oh.
So like, after you get your 5th promo pack, you just have a dead slot. Unless you have multiple accounts.
Awful?
Actual terrible.
That's
or
genuinely
is it not tied to 5 person per use of code? So 5 people can use the code and that's it? Or is it literally
no.
use
like
5
5 codes per
It's
person?
a single shot code, and your account is capped at 5.
So it gets you a digital card, right?
It gives you a digital booster.
Digital booster pack. You can only redeem it 5 times. So if you have like 20 promo packs.
If you're winning promo packs every week, you're playing.
So if you're
they just become dead.
If you're good at Magic, then you get punished.
Basically, you get you're still your normal.
It's just diminishing returns.
But
How does this promo pack setup work? Okay, I've only ever dealt with it from our work perspective, which is be frustrated by it. How do you receive promo packs for the
It depends on your store.
non-standard player?
Your store gets a certain allotment, and then they decide how they don't want to disperse them. But it's usually like either participation or a reward.
Yeah,
so it's like F&M promo. It's not like buy a box.
Yeah, so they used to have like different promos for different events. Like they'd have like the Planeswalker Weekend promo, and they'd have like the Open House promo, and like the F&M promos, and all this stuff. And instead of doing that, they've now just said like, here's these packs that have like 4 or 5 promos in them that are semi-randomized. We're gonna give them to the LGS. And the LGS can decide whether they want to give those packs out as the promos themselves, whether they want to crack them and then give the individual singles out as the promos. And, like, I
don't think they're allowed to do that.
They are. They actually, like Watsy has said, like, because of the fact that, like, they have drastically reduced the allotment of promos. So, like, if your store would get, like, 20 promo cards for, like, a specific promo, then, like, you're going to get, like, maybe 7 to 10 of these like promo packs. My numbers are wrong, but I'm saying like it's a drastically reduced supply.
They're selling for a lot of money for some reason.
The packs?
They're like $40
because they can have good stuff in them.
The $40 ones are the ones with the Jap Mythic or the Jap alternate art ones. The red
the Japanese ones.
Yeah, those are the ones because like the odds of you getting an alt art blocker is just so high.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The like normal promo packs with the Planeswalker stamps on them are not bad.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was wondering what the
it sounds like an easy opening for some predatory LGS. Hopefully everybody.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's been the issue. That's
unfortunate.
That I've been seeing like on our local Seattle Facebook.
That's also why
people are being really toxic about it.
That's why they probably bump up the price because LGSs are opening them up. Like the ones that are really bad about it are opening them up and then taking all the profit of it. So the ones that do exist that aren't opened up, that aren't being won by people, are just being sold.
Mm-hmm. So it's just a lower supply of what even the lower quantity there already was.
Yeah, they're like, oh, cool, we got these 10 promo packs. Mm-hmm. We're gonna open 8 of them and give 2 of them out and say, oh, sorry, dang, we got so little of these that we only have 2 of them, and then hey, look at all these new walkers we got. Isn't that crazy? You want to buy some?
Cool? Ignore the stamp on there. That's nothing.
Yeah, that's nothing.
Let's not talk about.
Wait, but do the Japanese Planeswalkers have a stamp on them?
Oh, I don't. I have no idea.
Huh?
No.
So they're just regular Japanese walkers slapped into a pack.
Yep.
Cool beans.
Cool.
I mean, they spend all that money on all that alternate art, so they're going to get as much use out of it as humanly possible.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That makes sense, yeah. I want to talk about alternate art.
Oh, hell yeah.
Shepherd of the
Okay.
Flock alternate art is my
Oh,
favorite
hell
art
yeah.
in this entire set.
Hell yeah.
Let me see this boy.
It's gorgeous.
It's
What?
literally a guy carrying a sheep through a storm.
yeah, on his shoulders. It's
What
it's
a fucking
Craig.
Awesome human being.
Shit, I can't read it
Craig
on the.
Spearing.
Yeah, Craig Spearing.
Yeah, no, he's like my favorite artist.
It
Yeah,
says it on
Craig
Craig T.
Spearing.
Spearing. Yeah, so I'm on Mythic Spoiler. Shout out to Mythic Spoiler. Great website.
Yeah, great
Uh,
website.
Thank
it
you.
says when I click on the card though, it says who the artist is for the normal version of the card.
Flip it over.
Yeah.
But if I
Yeah.
hover
Artist.
over it, nah, it's different art for the.
Yeah, here.
That's
If you
weird
want to
a
read it,
little
it's
bit.
right
No,
down
I
there.
got it.
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah, but
no, they did different artists for the normal version and for the. promo it.
also this card is
special
hot.
version.
It's just an alright card.
Is this card hot?
I mean,
This
I
was
like
something
it.
I actually wanted to talk about. Like, how often are you going to be wanting to spend 1 mana to bounce a thing back to your hand? And it's permanent, so I guess you can hit
I
anything
mean,
with it.
I mean, if it was a common, woo, I would be so
Yeah,
excited.
I can
would
see
be
this
so
being good in
excited.
Pauper.
But I mean, most of the time when you have stuff like this, like the 3 mana thing, usually you get like a flash creature with like less of a body than this.
Mhm.
And it costs 3. That flashes in, you bounce a permanent.
You know what I just realized? This card plays spectacularly well with all of the adventure creatures because you can bounce your adventure creatures back to your hand to recast the adventure.
Also,
got
very
it.
good card.
So
You got it.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's value.
Enables adventure.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then triggers your innkeeper dude that draws you cards when you cast adventure creatures.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, like how you play a lot of
Edgewall
Flash in Commander, Miller.
Yeah.
How does double white and 1 colorless return target permanent to your hand with a 3/1 body?
Yeah, with a
sound?
3/1 body. How does that sound to you?
Double. Well, the normal version of him does not have flash. The 3/1 does not have flash.
No, but
No,
just
no,
like
I didn't say
pretend.
flash.
Yeah,
Yeah.
One mana for instant speed
Double
return.
white, like so you cast it all at the same time, right? The way
Just-
this adventure mechanic works.
No. So the way the adventure mechanic works is you cast the adventure half,
Yeah.
and when you do, it goes to exile.
Yeah.
Then-
If it resolves.
If it resolves, then later on, when you could normally cast that creature,
Yeah.
you can cast it from exile to the board.
Okay.
You get a bounce effect at instant speed, and then you also can get a creature for that cost.
Yeah.
It's just on your turn, but you're getting an instant speed flash. Like, so reaction to
So it's like-
somebody's targeting removal on a thing. You're like, well,
I'm gonna instant
this,
speed bounce it
and
back to
then
my
on
hand,
main,
and then on my next turn
it
I'll
goes
cast
back
this 2
in.
mana 3/1.
It doesn't have to be your next turn. It could be
Or later, yeah. You can do it whenever.
Yeah. How does that feel?
I like that. The best thing about all of these adventure cards is just they're all 2-for-1s. They're all 2 cards on 1 card, which is pretty good. Like that feels
Most
great,
of the time,
and that's
right?
going to make limited feel really weird, where you're like not like fighting for tempo against your opponent quite as much because so many of the cards in the set are just 2-for-1s. Like I feel like fighting for like card advantage in that way is not going to make a lot of sense.
But you would in no way ever put this in like
But, yeah, like,
flashy commander.
A
deck.
1 mana, like I play a lot of Flicker.
Yeah.
I wouldn't play a 1 mana return a thing to my hand because I would
With
rather.
a 3/2 body for. So
No.
it's not 1 mana. We're looking at it as a 2 white and a colorless for a 3/1.
He's
that returns
pretend-
something.
Pretend
I'm
all
pretending
of these
it's
were
one
stapled.
card.
Okay, so if it's 1 card and it's on ETB, I might play it because if it's on ETB, I can do some Flicker shenanigans with it.
Right.
But like, there's already Flicker Wisp. It doesn't have Flash,
I was gonna
admittedly,
say,
but there's
this
already
is
Flicker
not- This
Wisp.
is clearly worse than Flicker Wisp, lol.
Yeah.
Flicker Wisp, my boy.
Yeah, but I mean, like honestly, there's in EDH there are plenty of better options
There's
in a
enough
Flicker
that
deck.
this is never going to end up in your 99.
Yeah, you never want to play a
Dog.
card that's down, like you're down 1 card almost. Like this, the 3/1 is irrelevant in EDH. You're not going to play a vanilla
Dog.
3/1 in EDH. It doesn't matter. The pay 1 mana, bounce a thing back. Are you trying to tell me that you would play
Dog.
this card in EDH?
Dog.
Jose?
I play the Landworm, and it had to unironically
Elder-
be removed
Elder
by
Landworm?
someone yesterday.
Imagine if they went to go remove it, and then you were just like, usher to safety. It's back in my hand.
Yeah, and then I have to block with it again. Imagine I had to do that. Wouldn't that be crazy?
Yeah, that'd
no,
be great.
but what if it did happen? But anyways,
Yeah,
yeah, no, I would.
All right. I was just curious, like, because I'm trying to gauge
No,
where
I think
all
it's-
of these adventure cards are.
No, I
at.
would slap this. I would
Like,
slap
what do
this
you
in
feel-
EDH because it's just like it's a 1 mana protect something. Then you can cast it for an option, and then you can play it with something like Cloudstone Curio to bounce it back to your hand. So
Yeah,
like, you can
if
just
you're-
keep getting value out
If
of
you're
it.
playing a Cloudstone Curio oriented thing, like you could probably make this card
You could buy
playable TM in EDH, but I don't think that like this is not by any means a value card. This is not by any means going in every white deck.
Yeah, no.
I mean, this is going in my white deck.
It's much more like I'm just trying to figure out how to actually analyze and like evaluate these adventure cards, because I'm like, okay, so if it was just this, would that be good enough to put it in anything? And the answer is kind of no, but it's an uncommon, so of course not. But like,
it's kind of the way that I'm
having trouble with it.
The way that I've been thinking about them is like look at their like start by looking at their instant, like their adventure, and say like, would I play this card if it also had draw a card attached to it? Right? Which is kind of what it is. They all kind of have this like draw a card, and then the question is like
partner.
Sort of, yeah. You know what? That's actually
they're stapled together.
That's a good way to think about it.
Yeah, because they're stapled together.
That's a much better way to think about it.
For this thing, but you still have to cast the thing if you want to do something.
Yeah, that's a really good way to think about it. So then the question is really like, how well does the thing you're getting and the thing you already like spent your mana on, how well do they work together, and like how valuable is that creature on its own that you might cast it without? Like they are all 2-for-1s by themselves, except for like ones that are like, you know, put 2 counters on a creature. That's not really a card's value. But yeah, so in general, like, you know, it makes sense that like Beanstalk Giant, you pay 3 mana to ramp because then later you're going to pay 7 mana for a big dude. Like, I'll pay 3 mana to ramp if I'm going to get a big dude later off the second card.
Yeah, that is the standard rate you would pay for that effect, especially in a standard environment where it's like, okay, eventually I get a creature too.
Yeah.
Okay. That Realm Cloaked Giant, which destroys all non-giants and then becomes a visual 7/7.
Talk about weird-ass mythics.
You were definitely going to play a 5 mana Wrath in double white because you've been playing 5 mana double white Wraths for the last, like,
6 years.
Yeah. But if you ever get there...
This time, now you get a 7/7 once in a while.
Well, I mean, if you're wrathing on turn 5, you're probably going to survive 1 or 2 turns more to play the spell.
Hopefully.
Fingers crossed.
And then you got to survive another turn to attack with it.
When you cast it, you can then cast your Wrath again, and your giant doesn't die because it doesn't destroy itself.
If you've got another one of those.
Multiples of it. You're right, actually.
Yeah.
So it does get kind of...
It's a weird mythic version.
Kind of ignorant.
Yeah.
What about Fae of Wishes?
Fae of Wishes. Which one
I
is
am
this
not
one?
sure how to feel about that.
Yeah, that one's interesting.
That one's the one. It's a wish.
Yeah, so it costs 2 mana, 1 in a blue, and then for the creature, and it's a 1/4 flying with 1 in a blue. Discard 2 cards. Return Fae of Wishes to its owner's hand. But the sorcery is, you may choose a non-creature card you own from outside the game, reveal it, and put it into your hand, and it costs 4.
Yeah.
So essentially, it costs 4 mana and discard 2 cards. And then 4 mana again to wish if you just want to keep doing it over and over.
Yeah, but it's like it's 6 mana, discard 2 cards to like be doing that cycle every time.
8 mana.
It's 8.
Oh yeah, because
it
you got to
costs 2
recast
itself.
it. You're right.
Yeah, it costs 2 itself.
You're right.
But like, I feel like if you just use it as like a wish card for 4, that's not.
It's not the worst. I feel like
Mastermind's Acquisition was currently played in standard.
Yeah, and it costs.
That was a card that
it costs black. 2 colorless, right?
The only difference is that
2 colorless, but Mastermind's Acquisition also let you search your deck, which maybe that matters.
That's relevant. It also can get creatures, which this can't.
Yes.
My question it simply is like, what deck does this card go in? Like, is the 1/4 flyer relevant at all?
You want to hear a meme?
What
if you get Midnight Clock?
It's probably fine.
Midnight
You're not
Clock?
going to get Midnight
I know,
Clock.
you're not going to.
But, like, are you going to get a situational Planeswalker in blue?
You could also, like...
You're going to get a Teferi?
You're going to get
Maybe.
a Narset? You're going to get a new Garrick? These are all things you could do.
Oh, Garrick's back. That's right.
Hell yeah.
Holy shit. I forgot about that. Hell yeah.
I'm so hyped about Garrick.
Yo,
I've missed my boy for
number
so long.
1 huntsman, maker of beasts.
You could also get, like, a Deafening Silence or something.
2/2s.
He makes 2/2s.
Boo.
What do you think of the Deafening Silence card?
Deafening Silence is sick.
Yeah, I'm also not sure about that one.
Because it's symmetrical, quote unquote, but like
it's the decks it's good in are like creature heavy decks.
Yeah,
like,
why don't you play that in like Mardu aggro with your boy?
What boy?
Your boy,
with Wrinkle.
Yeah.
Like then you're locking yourself out of being able to do the sacrifice ability because you're not going to cast a million Lingering Souls. You can't get.
No. I'm talking about in standard.
I'm talking about in standard. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't think that card's standard playable.
You don't think Rankle's standard playable?
I don't think the enchantment's standard playable.
It costs 1.
Yeah, but what are
Yeah,
you
like,
doing
what are
in,
you doing with
in
it?
standard that's so crazy?
How often are
One-
people like double spelling or triple spelling in standard?
One drop blank. I mean, unless they're
Because
doing...
they can always just like cast the spell now and then on the next, like during your turn, cast their other instant spell.
I guess
going to be
is
cast.
Nexus
fucking
still a
Teferi
thing?
makes this card literally garbage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because they're gonna turn 3, play Teferi plus because they don't even have to bounce it immediately, and then eventually bounce it when they want to do whatever they want to do.
When they want to cast their second spell, yeah.
Is
Yeah, I guess
stupid Nexus still a deck in standard?
Nexus rotates.
Thank
Thank
God.
Christ. Yeah.
We were just starting to touch on it. Garrick.
Yes, that's right.
My guy.
Garrick.
Cursed
Garrick,
Huntsman.
Cursed Huntsman.
Hell yeah.
Love him.
A 6 mana Garrick for black green for a 5 loyalty Garrick Planeswalker.
Mm-hmm.
He has a 0, which creates 2/2/2 green black wolves with whenever they die, Garrick Planeswalkers you control.
All
Each
get
Garrick
all-
Planeswalker you
Garrick-
control
All
gets a
Garrick
loyalty counter.
Planeswalkers you control get a loyalty.
Yeah.
-3, destroy target creature, draw a card.
Okay.
And then -6, you get an emblem with creatures you control, get +3/+3 and trample. So
You play him, you zero him,
Mhm.
sack that thing somehow. Next turn you overrun forever.
You sack it with some kind of
Your
Liliana or
permanent
something.
overrun.
yeah,
Yeah.
so I know people are not really hot on this card right now, based solely on how everybody was really hot on Liliana Dreadhorde General,
Mhm.
and it did nothing. The thing people aren't seeing, Liliana Dreadhorde General was a really bad fucking card. Like, I don't
John with the very
Yeah.
like.
Looks across the table, gives
like,
me the eyes.
I
Bad
like
fucking card.
you guys know me. Liliana, that's my A1 day one. That's my homegirl.
Okay, yeah, she's
Liliana Dreadhorde General is one of the worst Lilianas ever printed,
stinky poo poo.
and people are blinded because it has a static that says draw a card when things happen.
I mean, she's a great EDH
Lily
card.
is a 6 mana walker. For 6 mana, you get 1 2/2 zombie.
Yep.
And nothing else.
Yeah, it feels like it should be like 3/2.
Even the minus is symmetrical. So you have to sack 2 dudes when they sack 2 dudes.
Yeah, but then you draw cards.
Okay. Cool. I think people aren't comparing this to like overall standard 6 mana walkers that have existed.
Yeah, I think
not,
that.
I don't want to compare this card to Liliana because Liliana is really bad.
Right.
Because it's plus when it's on the part when you're ahead,
Mhm.
you are making 1/2/2 a turn.
How does this compare to another recent green black 6 mana planeswalker that people played in standard? Vraska Relic Seeker.
Vraska was a good 6 mana planeswalker.
Yeah, how's this compare to
it's
that?
plus made a 2/2. However, the 2/2 had evasion
Mm-hmm.
because menace mattered.
Yep.
So it pressured their Vraskas.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because when that was the thing when you were playing Vraska, everybody was playing Vraska. Its minus wasn't symmetrical. You just killed whatever you wanted to kill and got ramped because of it. Absurd.
Mm-hmm. So you're
And-
saying that the minus removed and got you more value.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It did.
That sounds like a
multiple
card we're
things.
talking about.
Sounds similar.
Yeah.
Destroy target creature draw.
So we're on
Oh,
we're on the same level, right?
Yeah.
Where its
Yeah.
minus is doing the same thing that Vraska was doing,
Yeah.
but its plus is better.
It doesn't have a plus though.
Or yeah, it's 0.
Yeah.
Zero,
It's almost
yeah.
a plus.
Its 0 is better because
Yeah.
you're getting multiple
2 bodies. Yeah.
Yeah, you
When
push
was the
those
last time we had a 6 mana planeswalker that when you plus you got multiple bodies?
That was a Theros card, I believe.
Yeah,
That
that
was.
was Elspeth's Sun's Champion.
Yeah. that card.
yeah.
The most dominant walker for the 2 years that it was legal.
All right,
By a lot.
I love that
Alright.
card. Yeah.
It
Right.
made
She's coming back.
She
It
better
made
be.
3 1/1s.
Yeah.
On paper, that's awful. When you're doing it every single turn, it's absurd.
It's bananas.
Also, you can
Well, it
overrun
came
them
with a
too,
white,
like very
too.
easily.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it came with
That
a
was the
white.
white too. Like so
Yeah.
the where Liliana was bad, its minus was sack 2 dudes. So if your opponent had 3 dudes, you were never killing the creature you wanted to kill.
Yeah.
Elspeth was like, nah, you're gone.
Yeah. No. Your threats are gone.
Garrick?
Goodbye.
Nah, you're gone.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna draw a card. So
Yep.
now I'm getting advantage for killing the threat that I was worried about to begin with. And
Yeah.
now I have my own threat. Garrick's gonna be
I think
absurd.
this card's hot. I think this card is playable in EDH easily. Like, this card's a very strong card for, like, multiple formats.
I think this goes into my new Garrick tribal deck that I'm building.
Hell yeah, please.
It incentivizes Garrick Tribal.
Let's go.
It does, right there. All right, Mason, what you got?
Yo, I really wanted to talk for a second about Alera.
Oh, are you?
The Artful Provocateur.
Oh, wait, where is
Which
that?
is technically Fairy Warlock.
Are you talking about the
The
Brawl?
one that gives the
Commander.
the benefits. It's
Yes,
the Esper,
yes,
right?
sorry, yes.
Yeah,
it's
that card.
the Esper one. Yeah, no, I'm jumping into the Brawl category.
Yeah, no
but,
worries,
This
hit
card, if I've got... This card is, so sweet. I love the art on it. It's very cool.
Yeah.
Very active. But also, it's a Warlock, which is a creature type I didn't know I needed in my life. But yeah, the 2/3 flying Death Touch lifelink is very cool.
That's a lot of keywords, once again.
I don't know. I really want to build, and I think this is how I'm going to finally make a fairy tribal deck. Is going to be
This feels like
Esper
the right way to go, a fairy
tribals.
tribal.
Yeah.
Like, people have been trying to do Una fairy tribal for such a long time just
God.
because she's, like, the legendary fairy to play, but, like she makes fairies, but she doesn't really care about your fairies at all.
Yeah.
This lady gives all your fairies +1/+0. That's pretty good. I like getting
It's
2
flyers,
ones with
right?
flying. It's flying creatures, but I mean, let's be
Yeah.
real, it's fairies.
Yeah.
You can do other things.
Yes.
But, the card's kind of absurd.
And
It's
then,
pretty nuts.
whenever you cast your mana ramp artifacts or an enchantment spell like a Heuristic Study or something,
Mhm.
you
Ghostly
create,
Prison.
you get to create a 1/1
Propaganda.
fairy creature. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's
When you cast your opposition.
When you cast your... What was that card that we were just talking about, that 1-mana white spell?
That Deafening Silence.
Deafening Silence. Because you're definitely going to cast that in this deck.
Yeah, you're definitely going to cast it and never be able to make more than one fairy a turn.
Yeah, that's how you... Wait.
your
Yeah, she's sweet. She's really sweet.
It seems awesome. I think we've had this conversation in passing, but I don't understand. But I also am totally cool with the fact that all the Brawl commanders are
They're
more
nuts.
exciting
They're
than
nuts.
the commander product this year.
Yeah.
It was,
Yeah.
I think
Wizards knocked it out of the park. I think.
of the 4 Brawl commanders that they've shown, this one is the one that can potentially see
Gwen's incredible.
eternal format play.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I mean, the other ones are all 5+ mana, so
Just
that's one thing.
Yeah, the next best one is the night one.
Yeah,
But,
Gwen.
Oh my
It's-
god.
Sir Gwen?
That one's also whatever. But this card is an advantage engine. It's an anthem.
Can I bug you on that last comment you made? You're saying the night one, Sir Gwyn, is the next best one. Are you talking about for eternal format play, or are you talking about in general?
Of the Brawl commanders, that the next best one is that
my
one.
my dude. So first of all, I'm going to say my opinion is that is the least good of the 4. Sir Gwyn is
that Jun one is
fine.
awful.
No, dude, that Jun one is great.
Really?
Yeah, that Jun one is sick. It draws you cards when you sack things, and your guy's going to get huge.
But
He's
are
going to
you
get
gonna
massive.
play that over Prosh?
No, because here's the thing: is I actually, but the reason why I love this card is they've been pushing more and more aggressively, just crazy value EDH generals, and that's fine. But you get very easily stuff like Prosh, where not that Prosh is more recent, but you get very easily stuff like Prosh, where it goes infinite with one thing, and it's a little bit too easy, and you can't play Prosh at EDH without people being they're playing a survival deck.
Yeah, no,
you
sit
are doing
down.
that.
You sit down with a Prosh.
You sit
deck,
down with Prosh
you're
and they're
this
you,
is what's happening.
You can play Corvald as a new Carador. I'm actually kind of excited.
Yeah,
about that.
he's sweet.
Or not
He's
Carador.
super
I'm sorry,
sick.
New Kresh.
New Kresh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, 'cause
he fits that
Kresh is
archetype
my
really
boy,
well.
dude.
He's just he's Jund value. You play random stuff that you don't care about dying. You play token generators and things like that you don't care about these things dying, and you draw cards off of it.
Hey,
you draw cards off of your opponent sacking their basic lands, sacking their Sakura Tribe Elders, sacking.
Oh, it's when anything gets.
It's
activated?
No.
whenever.
Whenever you.
No. Oh, you're right. My bad.
I
My
was
bad.
Dog, if that card
Oh,
said,
so
if
sorry.
that card said, whenever a player
My bad.
sacrificed
Yeah,
a permanent,
Okay.
that would be no question
misread.
about it. The best card printed in the set.
My bad.
Annihilator.
I misread.
Yeah.
No, but it's still really good.
I would
Whenever
like
you sack a
to
permanent,
I mean,
draw a card, put a counter on a thing, still seems good.
This card makes you could buy Ren and Stimpy for your EDH deck, actually have it be a real thing.
Hell yeah, dude.
And you could play Wasteland unironically, and
I got Ren in my Lord Windgrace deck, and it does work.
Yeah,
lot
but
of
that's
people
'cause
talk
that's a
about
land-
six.
That's a
Yeah.
land-based deck.
I'm
right?
triggered right now. Fucking.
Huh?
About to
That's my boy.
roll some heads. Fucking Renin 6.
That's my hot son.
I can hear Renin 6 from like across the floor. And I'm just like, what's someone talking about Renin 6 now? I hate.
Aggressively increase the price of my junk deck.
I guess Corvold was my like one last one that I wanted to talk about. Jose, what you got? Round us out with something hot.
I mean, you want me to run you out with something hot?
Yeah.
This
What's
is
your
gonna
spicy
gonna be a little bit confusing for you guys, but all right. How you guys feel about this one enchantment, Outlaw's Merriment?
Oh,
It costs
yeah.
My dude.
It costs one
He's
red
doing
and
it.
2
I
white.
have,
He's
I have
doing it.
opinion.
At the beginning of your upkeep, choose one at random. Create a red-white creature token with these characteristics. So you make a 3/1 warrior with trample haste, a 2/1 human cleric with lifelink haste, and then a 1/2 human rogue with haste. When this creature enters the battlefield, it deals 1 damage to any target. So this card does not say legendary on it, which is pretty hot.
Remember when I said that some of the mythics in the set are like really bonkers nuts, and some of the mythics in the set are like, why is that a mythic?
Okay.
This is the second category.
Really?
100%.
What the fuck is this card?
This card is sweet.
If you got to pick, if it wasn't random, I'd be like, you know what? That's pretty cool. That's an interesting card.
That's
I
what
would
this
love to play
should
that card.
say. It should
It's
let you choose the
random.
situation.
Like, you don't get to, like, it's like, oh shit, I'm at 4 life. I
There's
would
gonna
really
be
like to get that human cleric token that has lifelink. That'd be really good right now.
There's
Oh
gonna
no,
be-
you get a 3/1 with trample and haste.
Well, this
Good
card.
luck
Okay.
surviving.
That's where the flavor of this comes in, right? When you're looking, hold on. When you're looking for a fucking party member for your rogue encampment, you go to like a bar and you're like, all right, I need help. You're not gonna be like, all right, I find specifically this exact thing that I'm looking for. You find some random jackass in the
There's
pub.
just a drunk guy in the bar.
Yeah, it was
He's
like,
"Ugh."
I want to join your party, and it turns out that he's a 2/1 lifelinker with haste.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It's a cool card, and the flavor is absolutely spectacular.
It
Knocks it out the
tastes
park.
so good.
Does it get played in
It's-
anything?
No, I won't get
Is
played.
this card a
It-
mythic?
It's
No.
Robin Hood's Band of Merry Men,
Okay.
which is rogue.
Yeah.
So they go with the robber and the rich.
One of
because
them is a rogue.
Are they not all rogue?
No,
No,
it's
human
warrior,
rogue,
cleric,
human cleric,
rogue.
human warrior.
Fuck this.
Yeah, no, if
This
they
card
were-
is so bad.
if they were all rogues,
Yeah.
we'd be on board. We'd
Yeah,
be cooking with
potentially
gas.
Doing
Okay.
something.
This one I wanted to talk about, but I thought you guys were gonna meme me out about it. But
Okay.
Lockmere Serpent is so cool.
Which fucking card is this?
It
The
costs
Loch Ness
that's the blue black one.
it costs a blue, black, and 4
It
for a
has-
flash 7/7.
This
All
card's-
right,
this
so
card's
it
silly.
has. There's a big meme with this one
Let's see
if you
this.
didn't know about it.
Hmm.
What
so
up?
it's supposed to be the Loch Ness monster.
Mhm.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah, which
And
we
it
all
has-
know is real.
And it has 3 abilities built into it,
Mhm.
Oh my
and
god.
a total of 50 words on the card text. It is
Oh my god,
It is a living South Park meme that
That's-
they just threw into the set.
Oh,
that's pretty good.
Okay,
man.
but
That's pretty good.
Designers, I love you.
they
Thank you,
fin-
Wizards.
If it interests any of you guys, they finally figured out what has been confusing people about Loch Ness, and they think that the Loch Ness monster that's being spotted is actually just eels that live in the loch.
Is this a real pro tip? You're saying a
I'm
real
not
Loch Ness?
not fucking with you in any way whatsoever. They like the environmental scientists that have been studying the area are like, well, there's no possible explanation for why we haven't been able to find such a gigantic being in the water for so long with all of this advanced tech, right? And like what they found is that like sometimes eels come up with the water and they're like, is that it? And they're like, no, it's not it. That's just an eel. But then they're like, wait, what if other people just have no idea that this is a regular eel and they're exaggerating their...
Fucking amazing.
Wouldn't that be crazy?
That would be. That
Yeah.
would be the kind of thing a drunk Scotsman?
Yeah.
Drunk Scotsman would come up with.
Yeah.
Just falling down on the lake line. Oh, it's a Loch Ness monster.
Not to-
Terrible
Spuds.
Not to imply that all Scotsmen are alcoholics.
No,
I'm
we
implying
we would never do
I'm
that.
actually just straight up saying that.
To all
All
of my
Scotsmen
straight
are
edge.
alcoholics. All
God-
of them.
God
All
I've
my
never
straight
met-
edge Scotsmen.
I've never met one
Because
that...
his opinions do not reflect the opinions of all people.
Yeah, good
on this
luck editing
podcast.
this
The opinions-
one.
No, that's going in. That's fine.
The opinions of we have not named this.
Hi,
Yeah.
boss. How are you doing? My name is Jose. last name.
Legal name, yeah.
Legal name.
So there's just to sort of wrap this all up, there are honestly a ton of cards that we did not have time to talk about today. There are so many.
Talk for the next like 3 days.
There are so many cool cards in the set. So many flavorful cards in the set. Lovestruck Beast, fucking Ironcrag Feat is fucking a silly card, and I want to see somebody do something nuts with it.
Lovestruck
What's
Beast
the name of my Husher?
What's up?
Husher thing.
The 1/2 with flying lifelink
with the best hate bear ability.
Oh yeah. Can't.
No ETB, no leaves battlefield.
Yeah, no ETB, no death triggers.
No
so
dying.
just goodbye aristocrats, goodbye Yarok, you're done. Kenra's transformation, by the way, is the hottest uncommon on the set, hands down. That card's amazing in EDH. Shut your general down and draw a card. Seems good.
That's what we're getting.
How do you feel that your Jund Dragon that you're so big on gets shut out by a 2-mana 1/2?
You know what?
Lamau.
Hey, you know what? Nah, that actually doesn't work that way. It's whenever a creature is sacked, it's not when it dies. There's whenever you sack a permanent. It's not the same thing as when it dies.
Hold on.
There you go.
You want to know what this card doesn't shut off? Grim Flare, the best card ever printed.
The best card.
It doesn't block it either.
It can't block it profitably. It's a 2/2. Like, it'll gain 1 life, but then it'll die. Lamau? That's pretty funny.
You take a net 1 damage, and then I'm going to stack my deck, and then you're going to lose.
Dude,
Hell yeah.
Grim Flare is the best card ever printed. Straight up.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for showing up for our Throne spoilers episode. We'll probably have more to say about Throne cards in our next episode because by that point the set will have come out. Is that right? I think that's right.
Probably so.
I think that's how math
full
works.
spoilers should be tomorrow.
Tomorrow,
Should be
yeah.
out tomorrow.
They will be up tomorrow.
Didn't even get to talk about the
next week. Jesus.
new bug
Release
deck
is the
that I
week
want to build.
after.
It's the pre-releases next week, isn't it?
No, actual pre-release.
Actual pre-releases.
Pre-pre,
Jesus
yeah,
Christ, this is
next
coming up
Friday.
quick.
Damn, bro.
All right. Also, I just want to say that Emery Lurker, the lock, is going to be my first mono blue commander. I'm just going to throw that out there. That card's sick.
That
I
card is
just want to throw it
stupid.
out there that Emery will also be my first mono blue commander.
You motherfucker.
I was
it's
thinking
fine.
about it. I was like, yo,
No, she's
Wait.
sweet.
this card's
Yo.
pretty tight.
You need to have one of every color commander, right?
Yeah.
Single. So you're playing the pig, you're playing Emery, you're
Emery,
playing the trickster.
What's the trickster?
Maybe.
yeah,
I
yeah.
did think about Wrinkle being the black one.
He'd be fun for
The
a
green
mono
one's
black.
definitely going to be Hydra Boy from Core 20.
Oh yeah.
I don't
Hydra
know-
Boy?
I don't know.
Voracious?
Yeah. No. Gorglos or whatever.
Oh,
The one that-
Gargos?
Yeah, the one that makes your guys cost cheaper.
Mega Hydra.
Gargos.
Mega Russian Hydra.
All right. So yeah, as
And
I
then
was
we
saying,
don't talk about white.
thanks everybody for joining us. I wanted to thank Amine Maxwell for letting us use their song Good Morning for our intro and outro music. We'll have a link to their SoundCloud in our description. I also wanted to thank Card Kingdom for giving us access to their meeting rooms in order to record this episode. Thank you guys so much. Also, thank you guys once again for listening. Come back next time when we'll be
Planes talking to another topic.